What's up, fam? We have another one. So I have a video here. Somebody sent me this video saying that it's going viral. It's going around, making some noise. So they want me to react to it. So without wasting your time, let's see what the noise is all about. Let's go.
Yeah, I wanted to know why we broke up.
Yeah.
I'm go ahead and do it as quick as I can.
It's about a breakup.
But I will
Okay.
tell y'all so y'all can understand my perspective a little bit better. For those that wanted it.
Okay.
So we broke up because I could no longer provide what she was looking for, the security she was looking for, which I completely understand by all means. She was going through nursing school and she wanted to feel financially secure as if, there's no issues when she comes back, even though she was working part-time and going to nursing school. Basically, beginning of 2024, I was working a city job, making like $15.75 an hour. That wasn't really something she was cool with. She said, can you go ahead and get a different job so I can feel more financially secure? I said, yeah, by all means. So I ended up getting a job at Amazon. They were paying $18.75, 25 cents more than what she was making at her job because she was working part-time. So the reason why she asked me to do that is because she's at nursing school and she just wanted to feel financially secure. I'm a man, I don't mind providing, I'll do what I can. So I ended up getting injured at Amazon, because they had some messed up way of, routing and stuff like that. My first day on, and they said you get penalized if you don't deliver all your packages. It was my first day. So I got injured my first day, my first week. I just kept on getting more and more pain in my knee to the point it was locking up and all that. Doctors was telling me I might have torn my meniscus when I finally went to one. I ended up getting on workers' comp. Workers' comp checks took a second to come in, mind you, as I got the news that hey, I might have torn my meniscus, and mind you, that's a life-changing injury. My mother passed, and so the money from the workers' comp didn't come in yet, so we were struggling financially for a second. No fault of my own. Still, I was at Amazon. They wasn't trying to follow the little doctor's note for hey, reduce weight. And so my doctor said go ahead and just stay out. I had a note for whatever, right? So I was supposed to be waiting for the checks, but God came through, had a couple of thousand that made sure we were good for a couple of months. I bought some gifts for her, all that with that money. I should have been smarter with it, truly, but
Oh yeah, you not only with your money, you should have been smarter, with the whole situation, with the way you handle the situation. Well, I'm gonna start with this. I heard something in the video and I just can't dismiss it. You said that your mother passed. I'm truly sorry. My condolences to you, I'm truly sorry to hear that your mother has passed. Now, with that being said, well, we all know what this video is about already, right? Obviously, he's trying to explain to us why him and, his ex-girlfriend not together anymore. But it's not rocket science. Up until this point, I understand everything. I don't even feel like I should listen to the rest of the video because clearly you showed her that you are the one who need to submit. The whole time, I'm here thinking that, what? It is said throughout history, even in God book, that women are the ones who need to submit to a man's leadership. And you are out here flipping the script. She told you go get a better job and you say, all right, I'm gonna get Amazon job. Make sure I make 25 cents more than you. That'll make you feel secure, right? Yeah. Brother. My brother. Big mistake. You don't fucked around and followed a woman leadership and almost fucked up your meniscus. You see why She's the one that needed to submit to your leadership. You don't listen. When these OGs and these people who know better out here preaching to us young people, we don't fucking listen. Anyway, let's continue with this video.
I decided that like, hey, I was going to buy a car with it, right? Or even repair the car that we had out front that she gave me, right? It was like a beat up Honda that just needed a whole what you call it, new power steering rack or something like that. But that was gonna cost a couple $100. But I discussed it with her because my money was not just mine in my head; it was also hers because I was planning to marry this girl. I put a ring in here, and so come to find out, just maybe 2 months after my mom died, we was in relationship counseling because she just couldn't understand my depression symptoms because she was like, oh, I just thought she was depressed. I didn't know you were depressed and anxious. I know how that can be, but I told you, like I got anxiety. I told you.
You think she's really worried about your damn depression and anxiety? Yo, can't you really read between the lines? This motherfucker out here making sure she got a provider 100%. Making sure. Remember, she's going to nursing school. And when that ends, she's going to end up with like a 6-figure salary off rip. Now, you, on the other hand, you can just magically transform into a boss, like a CEO, and then make her feel secure. Because obviously we know why she's talking like this, But there's one thing that I want you guys to pay attention, right? Women making sure that a man can provide before they settle. And yet when we want to make sure that you can cook, clean, shut the fuck up, and suck dick, it's an issue. You don't want to show us those traits until you get a ring on that damn finger. Make it make sense. This is why people are out here preaching. I need to listen. Women don't just make dumbass decisions like men. They don't. They're very calculated with the steps they take. So we need to match that. Equally match that. No, more actually. Big mistake. Let's continue. I'm pretty sure there's more we can hear.
I'm depressed, but it took the therapist to tell her that that's what he's dealing with for her to finally be understanding, right? And so she was saying that she was being patient. Honestly, she wasn't being patient. She was tolerating me until things got better. But that's besides the point. I don't even want to get into it. I'm just going to tell y'all exactly what led up to the breakup. So as months go on, I'm getting workers' comp checks. We're making sure we're good financially. Things started turning around. Financially we were secure. Regardless, just off my checks alone. Only thing that she had to pay for it. And she was working part time, like per diem. She wasn't even working like weekly some days. Like sometimes she didn't have to go to work. She was working per diem, and my checks alone was making sure that we had all the bills in the crib paid for. I'm giving all this to say this, right? December hit, the workers' comp checks started coming in because of no fault of my own. The little MRI place didn't send a scan of my knee like they were supposed to. I signed a whole sheet about it and everything from send it to the workers' comp board so the payments wouldn't get stopped. They didn't do it. The payment stopped. Okay, as soon as the payment stopped, I went to unemployment that very maybe the day after I found out. Okay, the money from unemployment took a while to come in, and I had to, apply for unemployment every weekly, even though the money was not coming in. During that time, she blamed me. She said, "Why didn't you apply to unemployment before?" I just when I told you. I told her.
Homie, you know what? I think if I were you, I wouldn't even make this video because I'm pissed. I'm pretty sure you probably realize it by now. I think it's a blessing for you to not have her anymore. Clearly, you had a demon that was only there because things were balanced, things was great. You mean to tell me that she was working? I know she wasn't working full time. You were working full time, making $18 whatever, 25 cents more than her. But then after that, you got hurt, then you were on work comp, and then you making money, and that check was able to sustain the relationship. Now, one time she tried to help, even when the check's coming now, one time she tried to help, she tried to blame you that you are the reason why the check stopped coming. You're sick, you don't feel good, you lost your mom. All of that don't matter to her. It's all about, you don't have money. You probably did not hear about the word hypergamy yet. Yo, let me tell you something, right? If in this scenario, if I am not about to hear that in the end you became a CEO, you became some sort of doctor, or you became some sort of somebody who makes more money than nurses, there's no way she was gonna stay. I'm pretty sure she was probably cheating on you, probably had a side dude on her. Cause yo, she was already mopping. The complaints don't even make sense. Yo, when women are about to exit, you could tell. You can tell. If I were you, I would have just been like, you know what? Goodbye. And it's the right time to get rid of a bitch like that because it reduces your expenses and you get to keep some of the money from the work comp, man. You would not been in this situation had you acted right. But, since you want to please so much and be a provider so good, so much, there you go. You found yourself in a situation like this. All right, let's continue.
Where like, hey, I was told by my uncle and my attorney that I cannot be on workers' comp and unemployment at the same time. It's not possible. She didn't want to hear me until her friend told her, who was also on workers' comp, that her attorney said the same thing. And then she believed me, right? But the resentment was already there. So she just blamed me for the situation that we were in. And so I sold that beat up car that I was going to fix for money, so to make sure we were good for a month. And then, I think the month after that, she basically was resentful of me to the point that I moved in.
Yo, why do men make sacrifices for women who clearly don't love them? Oh my God. It blows my mind. Like, why? Why would you do that? Nah, man, this story is getting worse.
I wouldn't say moving. Like, I asked her, like, hey, you want me to stay at night at my uncle's so you could process your feelings, you could talk about it the next morning. She said a couple of nights. I'm like, okay, I understand. And then as time went on, she just became more and more resentful. Like, she wouldn't reply every day. Some days she'll go hours without, texting back, and then, this, that, and the third. It was just dry text, just mean sounded really. But like, I wasn't trying to lose her because I'm like, I love her, this is just a rough patch, this, that, and the third. But she ended up saying like, you don't know how serious this is. Like, I don't think this can be fixed in 2 weeks. Because, she was like, she extended from a couple of days to like 2 weeks of me being at my uncle's house.
This dude said that I'm not trying to lose her. Bitch, you already lost her. Like, you can't read between the lines. Does that look like somebody who really want to keep the relationship going? She checked out. You're not in a position where you can make 25 cents over her salary anymore. No, over her pay anymore. So you think she's gonna wait? Yo, some men are doing it to themselves. And I understand. The sad reality in this story is, if dude was somebody who didn't give a damn, who was like one of those YNs who, probably beat women, mistreat women, whatever, she was probably going to stick around. I'm not saying this is what men should do. I promise you, I am so much against it. Anybody who knows me, talks to me, knows that I hate it. But I'm just saying, how many times we see scenarios where the woman just clearly leaves and she stays? It seems like that's what they like. They like the toxicity. It's insane. Dude is out here trying to be loving, trying his best to provide. And mind you, in this whole story, not one time he's mentioned that, yo, you work too. Can you come through? No, he didn't even mention that. He was still doing his best to come through with money. And look where he ended up. And I promise you, if he was the complete opposite of that, she would have stayed. They like where they get their ass whooped for some reason. It's insane. You should have learned.
And the third, I'm like, just give me some time so I can show you that, like, hey, I can make sure we're good. Like, it's at the third. The employment money didn't come in, right? It wasn't until the employment money did come in, and I sent the bread to her, so make sure that the house was good. Now she started being a little bit nicer and stuff like that. But even then, she didn't want me back at the crib.
Yo, do you want to set up a standard like that moving forward with your relationship? You want to set up a standard where you are clearly the one who submits, where you are clearly the one who simps? Like, you are a simp. This is simp activity. For real. For real. Look, as a provider, a woman should be able to accept your level of provision. If she cannot live within those parameters, she has to get out. You should not be trying to force yourself to do extra. I'm not saying that you shouldn't work extra or work to better yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But she should not be the. You shouldn't look at, oh yeah, she say I'm looking to better myself because of her. No, no, no. You do it because of you, because you have a mission, you have a vision, you have a passion, and consequently, she's gonna reap the benefits of that. You don't just look at her and be like, oh, because of her, I don't want to lose her. I gotta be better. You will never be able to accomplish what you want. Never, never. These people are only loyal to their feelings. That's it. And she knew why she started talking like this, because obviously she's a nursing school. She knows she's going to end up in a better place. She had to exit because she does not see you as a financially secured man. These women don't move like that. They don't move like that. It's rare. It's probably nowadays it's pretty much impossible to meet a woman that's going to be doing better financially than you and stick with you. I know probably there exists, bro, but man, I don't know how many women you'll have to go through to bump into one like that. I don't know. Even when they good, when they can clearly come through and meet you halfway, 50-50, whatever, they still want a provider. They still want somebody to come in and do a whole 100% for them. It's funny. So I'm like, so what are you doing? All right, let's continue.
So like, I'm like, oh, what's going on? So as my anxiety started building, I'm like, I cannot handle this. I feel like I'm on the precipice of getting broken up with on the daily. I'm like, you know what, by all means, we might as well rip the band-aid off. I know you don't want this no more. She was like, how you gonna say I don't want this when I'm still with you? You downgraded us from boyfriend and girlfriend. And then when I said something about it, you was like, you were too nonchalant about it, when I was definitely afraid of, me saying like, no, I want to stay fiance and, stay as fiancés, that you would just be like, no, we're done. It's either boyfriend and girlfriend, it's over. I was definitely afraid. I didn't want to make no moves that would just, be like, I don't feel like this is worth it. But like, at that point I was being held hostage, and like with my anxiety, it felt like. So I'm like, what, by all means. And then as time went on, I'm like, what, let's try to work this out. Can we have a conversation? She's like, yeah, we can have a conversation about it in person. I'm like, okay, bet. Months go by. Months. It wasn't until it was my birthday, she didn't even send me no happy birthday text. And I'm like, okay, can you just send me all my stuff back to my birthday?
Yo, you can't provide. You think you're getting a text like that from a chick that knows you can't provide? Yo, the reason why you're so willing to fight for that relationship is what's funny. I think a lot of us men need to realize, sometimes what we don't understand is the pain that we will feel getting rid of somebody like that. It's gonna be a lot, but believe me, it's nowhere near the pain of just struggling, being in a relationship and trying to stay and forcefully stay with somebody like that. Like you can't. You're never gonna make them happy. The only time, let me tell you something. The only time you'll be able to get this woman back is if you somehow level up and become some type of boss. But that's not even a good. It's not a good thing, because she's just there now for financial stability. That's all she's there for. Nothing else. She already showed you that she does not care about nothing else but financial stability. Because you have the traits. You care. You're loving. You want to provide an hour. You just don't have the money she wants you to have. It doesn't mean that you'll never get it. But she does not see those traits in you. She does not know that those traits are actually more important than just having the money. I'm just saying, sometime at a stage of a man's life, you have to understand that they're gonna struggle financially, right? But if they have the traits to go out there, hustle and make money, trust me, one day they'll do good. You have to be patient with them, and if you can help them, help them. Clearly, you are with somebody who wasn't willing to help you, even during the hard time. So why are you stressing this, man?
He's like,
it is what it
this,
is.
that, and the third. Your stuff is here. You ain't gotta, rush it out. This, that, and the third. Like, it wasn't until I started sending messages or paragraphs of how, what she did hurt me, how what was going on that, like, really made me feel. Mind you, I said, I don't blame you. Almost every single text message, I could send y'all the receipts. That, like, hey, I don't blame you for what you did, but, like, this shit hurt me. It wasn't until I started, being honest with how I felt, that she was in a hurry to give me all my stuff for real. Right? So mind you, I still don't blame her for putting herself first. You know, I understand my depression symptoms made it seem like I wasn't on shit. You know, I wasn't worried about providing and everything. But where's comp stop? I'm like making phone calls. I'm like, hey, this and the third, and they telling me, oh, it's gonna be 4 months before them checks start coming in again. I'm calling unemployment. It's like, oh, we don't know why it's taking so long, but just keep on, doing claiming. I'm out here calling places to try to loan. She's telling me not to be desperate with that shit. I'm like, okay, I understand, but like, she said, like, you made it seem like you didn't have no urgency. She's telling me like, oh, it feels like I'm raising my son. It feels like I'm the man in the relationship because she was the one working. One thing that set her off is that like I was being honest with how I felt after being on hold with the company I was on the phone with for so long. Like that drained the shit out of me because I'm still dealing with my mother's death. I'm still breathing. Like that drained the shit out of me.
Yeah, you have to understand how women think, because she's out there doing something, right? Know that, and she knows damn well that when she finishes, she's gonna end up with a good salary, right? But then when she looks at you, you don't do nothing. It's not like it's not like you're even broke because you're working on some type of mission or on your passion or on your dream or something. No, she sees you that just begging the government for money. That's how they see you. Trust me, that's how they see you. That's why they lose respect for you. That's why if you're a man and they can see that, okay, you don't got money, but let's say you put in work, maybe like they might still be ungrateful, they might still be blind and not see. But I think the level of respect for that is totally different than them seeing you just begging the government left and right for money, working. Even though that's not what you're doing. I'm not saying that you're begging, but that's how they see it. They see it like that. That's just how they think. And I wonder if everything that's going on, if you're blinded because of everything you went through, mother passing, losing your job, almost getting your meniscus fucked up. It's like, I understand it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. At the end of the day, we can only talk about this. I'm not you. I didn't feel what you felt, but I do see a lot of it's so many red flags. I see a lot of red flags, bro, that you should have just picked up and be like, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm out. And if you were to do that and just stay on your own and fight this shit on your own, you would have been much better. Like much, 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 much better, right?
I'm gonna go rot in bed for a little bit. And she felt like, she didn't have the ability to rot in bed, so she was angry at me about it. Because she had, studied for school. And I understand that. I don't blame her. But like at the same time, it's just that's the reason why we ended. She started to resent me for the position I was in.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her all the phone calls. I'm telling her I'm making phone calls to this, I'm making phone calls to that. I wasn't being too specific because I already know she's stressed about the school. I wasn't trying to add more stress, but like, hey, we may not be getting money for a little bit because I'm gonna make something happen. Because I was making something happen. But everything happens for a reason. Mind you, I'm not gonna be dwelling on this for much longer. This is probably gonna be the last video I ever talk about her for real. I put that on my life.
Move on, homie. Don't worry about it. It's what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, you should have learned. And I'm pretty sure you've learned your lesson now. And please, learn from these red flags. Learn from this situation. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, and the same signs pop up, just leave. Don't even try to do nothing extra. It's not going to take you nowhere. Alright, so with that being said, let's talk about this in the comments. And like the video for the support. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.